Colorado.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon. Mayor Johnston, it's nice to see you. Thanks for coming. I have a question about Denver's policies that I fear have made it a magnet for migrants and have drawn tens of thousands to Denver in a short amount of time. Given the strain that's being placed on city resources, is there a limit? And this might be similar to a question that was just asked before. If another wave of arrivals begins, does Denver have a contingency plan, or is the commitment to being a sanctuary city truly open-ended no matter how many come?
Thank you, Congressman. And we have adjusted our policies when we were facing some of the fiscal crisis around this. We were hoping for the Senate bipartisan immigration bill to pass, which would have provided some resources to interior cities. When that didn't, we had to make adjustments. And so what we've done now is we've really focused on connecting people to work. So those folks that arrive, we think the most important thing is for them to be able to work and support themselves, pay their own taxes, pay their own rent. And so we've run work authorization clinics to help people get legal work authorization. If this body could help us accelerate the rate of work authorization, we would not need to spend any public resources at all, because folks want jobs they can support themselves. So that's been our real focus. The more folks we work authorized, we've been able to then need to provide fewer resources around housing, shelter, food, etc.
Are you concerned that Denver could be reaching a breaking point soon?
Thank you, Congressman. We actually are seeing dramatic drops in arrivals since June of 2024. So we are not in a moment of crisis right now. We don't have migrant encampments. We've closed all of our shelters. We've actually dropped our spending on migrant supports by 90% from 2024 to 2025. So our expenditures are down dramatically, and we'd love to see it stay that way.
How about my concern about incentivizing certain actions? Do you have any concrete evidence that sanctuary policies have not made Denver more vulnerable to crime?
Thank you, Congressman. But we do have concrete evidence that even as 42,000 newcomers have arrived in the city over the last 18 months, crime has gone down in Denver. And so shootings are down 24%, homicide is down 17%, auto theft is down almost 30%. So we've seen all those major drivers go down at the same time we've had new folks arrive.
And that's because of the sanctuary policies, or in spite of them, or what would those numbers be absent the policies in Denver that incentivize these behaviors?
Thank you, Congressman. We see them as unrelated. We are continuing to make a strong stand on public safety. We're continuing to find ways to integrate folks who have arrived on our city in the middle of the winter with no clothes or support. And we've been able to do both. We've also made historic reductions in homelessness at the same time that we were facing this. I declared an emergency on homelessness because that was our top priority, and we've become the largest big city in America to end the cycle of street homelessness for veterans. So that's been equal part of our focus at the same time.
So just so I'm clear in your testimony, you don't believe that there's any evidence that the city of Denver's policies have made Denver more vulnerable to crime?
No, sir, I do not see any evidence that it has.
Okay. If violent criminals are exploiting these protections, are you willing to reconsider aspects of the city's policies to prioritize public safety?
Thank you, sir. We are very aggressively pursuing violent criminals right now. In fact, we're doing it in collaboration with many federal agencies. We have a Raven task force we launched, which has been focused on disrupting gang activity. That's why we've been so successful in managing and reducing the presence of TDA in the city. It's how we helped reduce the presence of MS-13. So we have aggressive actions going on partnering with federal agents, and that's working.
One of the concerns that I've heard, Mayor Johnston, in Western Colorado and Colorado's 3rd Congressional District and also in Southern Colorado, is that there are illegal immigrants here that are coming to, or that are in Denver, that are then relocating to Western and Southern Colorado. Are you aware, or can you confirm that the illegal migrants that are in Denver, that were in Denver, have stayed in your city and not traveled to other parts of the state?
Thank you, sir. Obviously, as you know, when folks arrive to Denver, whether they come from Carbondale or Grand Junction or Chicago, we don't track where they go. It's a free country. If they choose to move to Lakewood or to move to Pueblo, we wouldn't know. We just provide the emergency services to make sure they're not freezing on the streets. And so that's our focus, but we don't track anyone's long-term trajectory, whether they're a native-born or an immigrant.
Would it surprise you if there were individuals that were leaving Denver that were relocating to other parts of Colorado?
It wouldn't surprise me that folks are moving, in the same way it doesn't surprise us that folks are constantly relocating to Denver from other parts of the country as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mayor Johnston. Mr. Chairman, I see my time has almost expired, and I yield the remainder back.
Well, thank you very much, and that's it. in